Welcome everyone. What is the meaning and significance of Kendradipati dosh in a birth chart, and what criteria should be followed to assess the nature of Kendra lords in a birth chart? According to Maharishi Parashar, when any natural benefic planet becomes lord of a Kendra house, it loses its beneficence. And if a malefic planet becomes lord of a Kendra house, it loses its maleficence. It means when any planet becomes lord of a Kendra house, its power is compromised. It cannot behave according to its nature. This planet has to behave like a neutral for that birth chart. This is the reason we always consider lords of Kendras as neutrals. But note carefully, Lord of first house is not part of this discussion because first house is Lagna house and we have studied Lagna Lord is always auspicious, benefic for the birth chart. Always remember these three rules given by Maharishi Parashar and other great rishis. Lagan Lord is always auspicious, it is always benefic for the native. Lord of trines, that is Lord of 5th house and 9th house, are always benefic for the person. Therefore, lords of 5th house and 9th house are functional benefics for a birth chart. Lord of Trishtai houses always act as functional malefics for a birth chart. Because Kendra lords have to behave as neutrals in a birth chart. Therefore, natural malefic planets, being Kendra lords, cannot behave as malefics. That is a good thing for us. They have to behave as neutrals. They cannot show their maleficence. But at the same time, natural benefic planets, being Kendra lords, are not in position to show their generosity, and this cannot be appreciated. So, in Vedic astrology, when natural benefic planets become lords of Kendra houses, that is, they become lord of 4th house or 7th house or 10th house in the birth chart, they have to act as neutrals for that birth chart. That is why our great rishis called this as Kendradipati dosh. Always remember, Kendradipati dosh is not any type of affliction or curse. It only compels the natural benefic planet to behave in a restrained manner. How a neutral planet will behave in a birth chart? Behavior of a neutral planet is decided by its placement and conjunction. For example, for Aries ascendant, natural benefic Venus rules 7th house of the birth chart. So Venus becomes neutral for Aries. If it is placed in any of the Kendra houses, it will be a favorable position for the birth chart because it is a rule, if lords of Kendra houses are placed in Kendras itself, they give favorable results to the native. And if Venus is placed in 5th house or 9th house of the birth chart, it is also a good placement because 5th house and 9th house are the auspicious houses in a birth chart. But if Venus is placed in any of the Trishdai houses or Trik houses, then this placement may cause some challenges for the 7th house. But in that case, further investigation is required. Also note, when Mahadasha or Antardasha of 7th Lord will operate, Venus can cause some health issues or some other type of difficulties for the person. But those problems are not because of Kendradipati dosh. Those problems can occur because Venus will act as Marak for Aries. You can refer session 118 and revise the concept of Marak. So always remember, if a natural benefic planet rules a Kendra house, it gets Kendradipati dosh because it has to behave as neutral for that birth chart. But it does not mean the planet is afflicted. It cannot make the planet behave as a malefic for that birth chart. If Lord of a Kendra house is also Lord of a Dharma house, that is, if a planet rules 4th house or 7th house or 10th house of the birth chart and at the same time rules 5th house or 9th house, it becomes Yog Karak for that birth chart. So this planet will be a functional benefic for that birth chart. You can refer the session 114 for Yog Karak planets for a detailed understanding of the concept. As we have seen, Mars is Yog Karak for Cancer and Leo ascendants, Saturn is Yog Karak for Taurus and Libra ascendants, Venus is Yog Karak for Capricorn and Aquarius ascendants. Therefore, a planet ruling a Kendra house also rules 5th house or 9th house at the same time. Then it becomes functional benefic for that birth chart. As a result, Mars ruling a Kendra house becomes functional benefic for Cancer and Leo ascendants. Saturn ruling a Kendra house becomes functional benefic for Taurus and Libra ascendants. In the same way, Venus ruling a Kendra house becomes functional benefic for Capricorn and Aquarius ascendants. If Lord of a Kendra house also rules a Trishtai house, that is, if a planet rules 4th house or 7th house or 10th house of the birth chart and at the same time rules 3rd house or 6th house or 11th house in the birth chart, then it will become functional malefic for that birth chart. Because in Vedic astrology, lords of Trishtai houses always act as functional malefics for the birth chart. For example, for Aries ascendant, Saturn rules a Kendra house, 10th house, and also rules a Trishtai house, 11th house. So Saturn will become functional malefic for Aries. In the same way, for Scorpio ascendant, Saturn rules Kendra house, 4th house. So it is neutral. But at the same time, Saturn rules a Trishtai house, 3rd house. So Saturn is a functional malefic planet for Scorpio ascendant. If a planet rules 4th house or 7th house or 10th house of a birth chart and at the same time rules 2nd house or 8th house or 12th house of the birth chart, it will become purely neutral for that birth chart. Because according to Laghu Parashri, Lord of 2nd house should be treated as neutral. And lords of those thanas, 8th house and 12th house, should also be treated as neutrals. Note carefully, 2nd house in a birth chart is not a malefic house, but 8th house and 12th house are called Trik Bhavas by our great rishis, houses causing challenges and obstructions, and their lords are also defined in the same way. So, even if their lords are considered neutrals, don't forget their true significance while analyzing a birth chart. Finally, if a planet rules two Kendra houses, it will become 100% neutral for that birth chart. Jupiter and Mercury are the only such planets. Since both are natural benefics and they have to behave as neutrals, so they get Kendradipati dosh. Kendradipati dosh is not any type of affliction and it will not make the planet malefic for the birth chart. Behavior of the planet will depend entirely on its placement and conjunction in the birth chart. For Gemini and Virgo ascendants, highly benefic planet Jupiter becomes Lord of two Kendra houses, so it gets Kendradipati dosh for Gemini and Virgo. For Gemini, Mercury rules first house, Lagna house. So Mercury is Lagan Lord and it also rules fourth house. Since it is Lagan Lord, therefore Mercury cannot get Kendradipati dosh. Mercury will be functional benefic for Gemini. Jupiter rules 7th house and 10th house, two Kendra houses. So Jupiter being lord of two Kendra houses gets Kendradipati dosh. As a result, Jupiter becomes 100% neutral for Gemini ascendant. If Jupiter is placed in any of the Kendra houses, it can give favorable results. Because if lords of Kendras are placed in Kendra houses itself, they give favorable results to the native. And if Jupiter is placed in a strong position in the birth chart, its power to give favorable results will increase. Also note, Jupiter being the lord of 7th house also becomes mark for Gemini ascendant. For details, refer session 118. As a result, in the Mahadasha or Antardasha of Jupiter, person may suffer some health issues or other challenges. And this effect comes because of Marak and not because of Kendradipati dosh. If Jupiter is placed in 5th house or 9th house of the birth chart, it is a favorable placement in a birth chart because lords of Kendras, if sit in trines, become favorable for the native. Further, Jupiter is a natural benefic and purely neutral for Gemini ascendant, so its aspects will not cause any affliction in the birth chart. Proceed in the same way for Virgo ascendant. Mercury is the Lagan Lord and also Lord of 10th house. Since Lagan Lord is always auspicious, therefore Mercury is functional benefic for Virgo ascendant. Jupiter ruling 4th house and 7th house becomes 100% neutral for Virgo. So in this case, Jupiter is said to have Kendradipati dosh. As explained above, Jupiter will not act against Virgo ascendant. Only Jupiter's power to shower its blessings is compromised. In the same way, Mercury gets Kendradipati dosh for Sagittarius and Pisces ascendants. I have seen many horoscopes when people having Kendradipati dosh in birth chart get good results related to houses influenced by Jupiter or Mercury, but of course after some delay. So have patience and keep working in right direction. If Sun or Moon rules a Kendra house, it has to be treated as a pure neutral planet because Sun rules only Leo and Moon rules only Cancer. So both of these planets can rule only one house. Rahu and Ketu cannot be part of this discussion because being shadow planets, they do not have ownership of any house. I have explained all the scenarios in detail, so now you should not have any ambiguity or confusion about Kendradipati dosh and behavior of Kendra lords. The results a planet can deliver in a particular house of a horoscope depend not only on its position in the horoscope but also on number of other factors like its placement, conjunction with other planets, aspects of other planets, house lord positions, etc. And all these need to be studied collectively to draw inferences. First step is to master all fundamental rules. To learn more about Vedic astrology, please watch Vedic astrology classes session 120.